Okay, so the lighting is not natural light because I procrastinated so badly on this one. Hi, Shell.
And hello to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.
So back with Bora Chung's Cursed Bunny collection this week, and oh my goodness, we have another one. We have another one. It's so good. So this week we have the Frozen Finger. It's quite simple in that nothing much happens. I need an ice block. Why did I make a cup of tea? This is probably why I procrastinated all day. It's not cooled down. This is like one of the hottest days. Why did I do this? Okay, the hair is up. It's no longer making me sweat as much, but yikes. Blimey hell. It's hot. I hate these heat waves. I'm not a summer person. I am not a summer person. Anyways, so the Frozen Finger. I really could use some freezing right now. It starts off with a woman waking up to utter darkness. She's got no memory of how she got there, but oh wow. This is a phenomenal story. I was shook by how good this whole thing was, and it's so simple but so effective. So, this woman wakes up in utter darkness. She finds herself unable to see her hand in front of her face. And then she just feels forward and finds a steering wheel. She reaches behind it to see if she can turn the indicator on to see if the light flickers. Nothing. She tries to turn the lights on the car front. Nothing. Nothing works in this car. She suddenly hears a voice. Teacher. We learn her name is Teacher Lee through this voice, this very thin voice calling to her, asking her get out of the car. The car is sinking in mud. We've crashed into a swamp. Instead of getting out immediately, she realizes she's missing something and she's searching frantically for this thing. And eventually this hand goes, is it this thing? She presses it to the hand that's like halfway out the car, trying to keep this door open. And she realizes, yes, this is the ring, puts the ring on, exits the car very with difficulty because the car is sinking and they're trying to push the door. The hand with cold fingers is pulling the door, just trying to get her out. She loses her balance, but the fingers grab into her left wrist and keep her upright. And there's this eeriness to it because she can't see a thing in front of her whatsoever. She's trusting this voice to guide her to the road and to not let her slip in the mud. And so we learn this voice is Teacher Kim, and that she teaches in a primary school. And so they both teach in a primary school. And so we get this little backstory as they're walking towards, because after they've sat down and rested for a while, Teacher Kim is like examining our protagonist, our perspective on this. Teacher Lee, who can't remember anything, is explaining that she doesn't remember how she got there, what's going on, please answer just the basic questions. And so these cold fingers start touching her face, going, do you feel that? Does it hurt? Touching her temples. Does that hurt? And Teacher Lee is like, no, I don't feel any pain. I'm all right. I just don't remember anything. And then this very thin voice going, oh no, we need to get you to a hospital. This thin voice is all she has to guide her. And it's very eerie through it. And this voice, known as Teacher Kim, explains that they were on their way back from a housewarming from Teacher Choi, I think is how you pronounce it. It's I think that's how you pronounce it. Teacher Choi. So there's a housewarming that they were coming back from, and that Teacher Lee was driving because Teacher Kim drank too much. So, and now they're just heading to a hospital, or so the voice says. She can only trust the voice guiding her, and the cold fingers still attached to her wrist is all she can feel as well. There's this moment where she's just like, what's that? I'm pretty sure there's somebody over there. And this voice is like, no, there's only just you and me here. Don't worry about it. It might just be an animal. What's wrong? The voice asks. Did you hear something? Hear what? The voice asks again. Someone. I thought there was someone there. The voice is silent, as if pausing to listen. Then it says, you're mistaken. There's only the two of us here. She listens again. The sound is vague, somewhat far away in the distance or right by her ear. Something like a human voice or the wind. The sound withers into silence. I'm so sure there was someone there. So when we get further along this story, teacher Kim kind of mutters under her breath, going, oh, such a disaster, Teacher Choi. We've only been married a year before divorce. Because the reason why they had a housewarming party was she just got married, quit her job, and the housewarming was as she had moved in with her husband. This is apparently keeps changing. The story keeps getting worse. Oh dear, that Teacher Choi. It's such a sad story. Her mother was crying so much, and they came back from, at first they came back from a homecoming, from a housewarming. Then they came back from a different type of housewarming and consolation that her husband had left her. And she had to set up a new place without her husband. And then eventually they came back from a funeral because Teacher Choi had taken her own life out of such immense grief because her husband cheated on her. She doesn't have a job and her life has fallen apart. And this thin voice keeps muttering on. And Teacher Lee is just like, what are you talking about? You've just said we were from a housewarming party because she only just got married. What are you talking about? A funeral? You just said. And it just keeps going on. A little cycle of the voice says something and then gaslights her into thinking, you definitely hit your head too hard there if you can't remember this. As she changes the story into something else, as the fate of Teacher Choi gets more and more worse, more and more desperate, and more tragic. And in these mutterings from this thin voice that is called Teacher Kim, we learn that the husband cheated with one of her friends, another teacher from the classroom next to her. The penny drops as to what is going on. Even though Teacher Lee has no memory of what happened, it is very heavily implied of what did happen before the car accident. The voice gets so eerie at one point. The eeriness intensified doubly until the thin voice on her left gives a thin cackle. The people you know, they're so funny, don't you think? Just because they're afraid, they go about trusting any old voice they hear around them, even when they can't see for the life of them. What are you? She is shouting now. Where is this? Where are you taking me? The thin voice continues to crackle, following a strange voice around in a strange place, just because it pretends to be kind. She cannot stand it anymore. She begins to run. The voice keeps cackling behind her and mumbling. She doesn't even know who she is or where she's going. just creeps you out as you read on, and this voice gets sinister and sinister, and teacher Lee decides enough is enough. I'm running. I know I can't see anything, but I'm running. And the voice mocks her forevermore as she, but the only comfort she has right now is the voice that is mocking her is getting fainter into the distance until darkness turns into a bright, blinding light. A car and herself behind the wheel, and then she's all of a sudden underneath the car, sinking into the mud, fully conscious. The fingers come back around her left hand. There was a significance to the left hand as it pries the ring off her finger and then repeats the cycle, going back to the driver's side door, and goes through the exact same conversation as she already had experienced when she first woke up. And she can hear herself as she had once before noticed that there was a sound from another person. There is a loop going on where she causes her own car accident. As she's struggling through this, as the car's making her sink, and she can hear that person sink as she's being led away by this voice. It is so creepy, so eerie, and oh my god, I love it so much. It's so good. It's so good. So eerie. I love it. It's so simple. Just a car crash, a voice, complete darkness, and you just have to trust this voice might help you. But it has its own agenda and its own way of punishing you. It is incredible how this story progressed from start to end. Oh my god, I love it. 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 It was brilliant. This has to be my favorite story so far, because that was so phenomenal. I loved it. Absolutely brilliant. Every bit of praise I can think of. So good of a short story this week. I am so looking forward to the next time I dive back into this one. Even though it's like no idea what I'm gonna get, whether it's a head in a toilet or maybe a flock of bunnies. But I think there's also I want to praise Bora Chung's writing in this as well. It's kept quite eerily simple in places and also quite dark in others. And wow, absolutely phenomenal story this week. But yeah, that is The Frozen Finger. Short and sweet this time. Well, I wouldn't say sweet. I guess it's short and bitter, I guess. Anyways, bye, Shell.
Bye to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.
Follow the creepy voice.